Welcome to my channel. The channel motivates students and researchers to polish their economic skills with a classroom PowerPoint presentation to understand the topic. Today we will discuss the problems in an economy, the case of excess demand. When aggregate demand is larger than the aggregate supply, it is called excess demand in relation to full employment in the economy. Here, aggregate demand is greater than aggregate supply. Facing excess demand when resources are fully occupied will lead to an increase in price as the supply side is rigid. It creates an inflationary gap. Due to the full occupation of resources, increase in output is not possible. The only outcome from this is pressure on existing output, leading to a price rise or inflation. Causes of inflationary gap in a closed economy. 1. Rise in private consumption expenditure. It happens because of a rise in the propensity to consume or a fall in the propensity to save. 2. Rise in investment expenditure. If there is positivity in the market, which leads to an increase in investment as investors like to invest their money and take advantage of booming conditions. Causes of inflationary gap in an open economy. 1. Rise in government expenditure. Government moves like investment or welfare expenditure through the public sector increase aggregate demand. 2. A rise in exports. As the export demand rises because of lower prices in the domestic market, the rest of the world like to have more goods, which encourages demand. 3. Fall in imports. As imports are negatively related to aggregate demand, high prices in the international market mean less imports and more emphasis on domestic production. 4. Fall in taxes. More income is available for expenditure when taxes are decreased. Now understand the consequences of the inflationary gap. 1. In a full employment case, an increase in aggregate demand does not result in an increase in output. 2. The commodities in the form of goods and services remain constant, only pressurizing the economy to readjust with an increase in prices. 3. Inflation only results in an increase in the cost of production as all resources are employed. There is nothing left for an increase in supply by employing more. Lastly, we discuss the government's role in correcting the situation of deficient and excess demand. It is the government's responsibility to take the necessary steps to keep the economy stable and growth-oriented. In case of deficient demand, it needs to increase aggregate demand by increasing government expenditure, which promotes an increase in output and income. On the other hand, in excess demand situation, government needs to decrease its expenditure to curtail excess money moving around in the economic system. I hope the discussion is helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and stay connected for future discussions.